of those documents. Next up is in regards to the city registrar's office. As the Attorney General mentioned in her introductory remarks, the city registrar's office is really just a clearinghouse, a location for documents to be filed and kept on record for the city as to who the documented owners are. They are not necessarily checking the legitimacy of every document that's being filed in regards to particular properties. However, the city registrar's office has been becoming more diligent in picking out red flags when they see particular patterns. So if there are social security numbers that are a complete set of nines or a complete set of zeros, things that completely jump off the page at them, they will flag it. And they'll let law enforcement know. They work closely with the city sheriff's office. They'll let the investigators at the sheriff's office know that suspicious documents have been filed in relation to that property. So that's something that the city registrar's office is looking into and that they'll continue to take note of as they process the documents that are filed for particular properties. It's also important, going back to individuals who may be facing financial distress or foreclosure in regards to their properties, there are agencies and organizations that you can go to for assistance. So be wary of people approaching you on the street. Come to our partners here tonight, Brooklyn Legal Services, the Center for New York City Neighborhoods. They can provide assistance. Come to the Attorney General's office. We have a well-established homeowners protection program that's assisted more than 90,000 families across the state of New York in preventing foreclosure. And we've been funded to the tune of $130 million. And it's been in action since 2012. So there are agencies and organizations you can go to for assistance if you're facing foreclosure, and know that there are individuals you can turn to. In addition to those resources, know that law enforcement, the DA's office, the Attorney General's office, we're also actively prosecuting these bad actors who are committing deed theft and other real estate crimes across the city and across the state. As the Attorney General mentioned, the case of Marilyn Sanchez, in which she pled guilty at the beginning of this year and was sentenced to jail time and was required to return to void the fraudulent deed transfers. That was a case that our office prosecuted, and that was one in which the bad actor, Marilyn Sanchez, forged the signatures of the homeowner and transferred two properties to herself. We're also actively prosecuting cases involving properties in both Queens and Brooklyn, where deeds have been forged, where signatures have been lifted from other documents and placed onto deed transfers unknowingly to the homeowners. So it's important to know that law enforcement is concerned about deed theft, that we're actively prosecuting deed theft and other real estate crimes, and then we're also working together and sharing information. We've worked closely with the District Attorney's Office, DA Gonzalez, on a number of prosecutions between the AG's office and the District Attorney's Office for the last couple of years, targeting real estate scams. So know that you can call the police, you can call the AG's office, you can call the DA's office, and report these crimes directly. Lastly, I want to talk about a couple of innovative efforts that we're using at the AG's office to target bad actors and to effectively stem the tide as it comes to deed theft in New York City. One is the new deed theft law that was passed this year by the state of New York. And this particularly will have a big impact in terms of criminal prosecutions. Not that it expands the number of cases that we can prosecute, but it now gives us the ability to, after getting a conviction, go to court in criminal court.
Travis, you need to speak a little louder.
Sure.
Okay.
So going back to the new deed theft law that was passed this year in 2019, it's important to note that under that new law, it gives us the opportunity in criminal cases where previously there was no mechanism to have the deed returned to the lawful owner. All we could do was prosecute the bad actors. Is that better? Yeah. So under the new deed theft law, we now have the opportunity to prosecute, not only prosecute bad actors, but also to have the deed that was transferred under the Criminal Act voided, which previously was not an option under the criminal law. So that's something that is new under the new deed theft law, and it shows the importance of acting together with our elected officials to push legislation that gives us the tools to effectively investigate and prosecute these type of criminal actors. Going forward, something that the legislature can look into and possibly change that would have an impact in terms of how deeds are filed with the city and across the state and how they're recorded, is the fact that currently under New York law there's no requirement that deeds be filed. And that goes back to the point that I was making earlier about breaks in the chain of title. It's very important that deeds be filed. It's very important that homeowners keep a record of the documents that are filed with the city register or outside the city with the county clerks. So that's something that possibly could be changed in the... Sorry? So going forward, there's a possibility... There you go. Going forward, there's a possibility that that particular requirement could be instituted across the state, requiring that deeds be filed, and that there would be less of a break-in chain of title with homeowners and their deeds. So that's something that could be addressed legislatively, and again, shows the importance of working with elected officials and emphasizing to them what's important to the community and what's important to homeowners. And lastly, with the Attorney General's office, we've been making use of data analysis over the last couple of years in targeting particular neighborhoods as well as bad actors for enforcement. So analyzing the data that comes from the city as well as other agencies that are working in the real estate realm allows us to more effectively target areas that may be impacted by real estate crimes and deed theft, as well as bad actors who are committing these crimes across the state. So in closing, I just want to say that the Attorney General's office is open for business. This is a point of emphasis for the office and for this new administration. We're here to serve you and homeowners across Brooklyn, New York City, and the state. And if you have any questions or any problems, whether it's in regards to facing foreclosure and what assistance may be available to you, or you believe that you've been the victim of deed theft or other real estate crimes, please reach out to the real estate enforcement unit of the Attorney General's office or any one of our partners here tonight. So thank you very much. And with that, I believe the next person